If you have a higher emotional intelligence and you feel like you have a lower intelligence on other aspects, remember that people with a high EQ tend to be efficient and good and popular leaders in business. How do you know if you have a high emotional intelligence, aka EQ? Here are 6 ways to know whether you have a high EQ or not. First one, curiosity. When you have a high EQ, it means that not only are you able to understand other people, but you're also curious about the emotions of other people and you're interested in asking questions about them. 2, perceptiveness. When you interact with other people, you have a general tendency to pay attention to their body language and to the subtle details of their spoken language. In other words, you have a higher perception of how other people interact with you. 3, you are more cooperative. In general, one of the reasons why many people tend to like you is because you are good at cooperating with other people. You generally work very well in a group environment. 4, humility. People with a high emotional intelligence, people with a high EQ, generally have a tendency to be better at accepting constructive criticism and to ignoring insults. In other words, you are good at taking feedback. 5, independence. People who have a high emotional intelligence have a higher tendency to understand themselves well. That means that they also have a higher tendency to trust their own choices and their own actions in life. And this usually tends to make them more independent, and it also tends to make them good leaders. If you feel like you have a higher emotional intelligence and you feel like you have a lower intelligence on other aspects, remember that people with a high EQ tend to be efficient and good and popular leaders in business. Number 6, if you have a high emotional intelligence, you have a tendency to be very adaptable. You have a tendency to be good at reading the people that you're interacting with, and while you read the room, while you read other people, you're generally good at figuring out what other people need and adapting to that need. In other words, adjusting your behavior based on what will make most sense in that given scenario. And that generally also have a tendency to bring with it success in business, in career, in education, and with other people. Remember to like this video and remember to follow my channel for more updates like this. If you have any questions, remember to share and leave a comment.